Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Welcome to Do Not Relent. This is a high-octane, high-energy podcast starring me, Sildewhistle.
Also starring me, Immunization.
And starring me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag. And as I'm sure you all noticed, I have been wed, so I've finally achieved my man voice.
Your balls have dropped, and you also have a ball and chain, because I guess we're boomer now.
Yes, the one thing I take most joy in this world is leaving my wife, pretending I'm not married, unfortunately flirting with a bunch of women that don't want to talk to me, and then going back to my wife.
I will say, we had a little bit of a wedding bingo with things that may or may not have happened. You didn't cry. You were so close to crying.
I was.
You gotta
also,
cry. You gotta cry.
Hey, everyone. Just kidding. All my masculinity left. I'm unfortunately this guy still. I got really close to crying. We almost did not do a first look because it was going to be Snoop Dogg's favorite weather out there, fudrizzle. And I was like, please do, or else I'll bawl and it'll look really bad. And then we ended up doing it.
Oof.
So when she did come by, I was like, I already know what that girl looks like. She gonna be wearing white.
The rest of your side was tearing up, though.
Yes. Alexander Burdick. Oh, shit. What is his Robo-Bob was like telling me like, you were really about to make me cry up there. I was like, thanks, buddy.
He did cry.
Did
we saw
he?
him tear up.
Little bitch.
Yes, he
little
did.
Bitch.
He cried. I saw you when you first saw her. I could see you. You were holding it in, and I'm like, I gotta win this fucking wedding bingo.
Yeah, because I didn't want you to win $15 or whatever the bet was.
It wasn't even for money. We should have made it for money. Fuck.
I mean, none of us would have won anything because nothing on our bingo list was checked off. We had this like long list of things. We're like, oh, is this gonna happen? None of the things happened.
Aw, man, we just had a functional event. That makes me sad.
Yeah, what the hell?
The closest we got to was when Robo-Bob was like, everyone, please enjoy the food, as I was distinctly giving him the thing like, the food's not ready, don't tell him. So I had to run. I had to super calmly walk over there like, if you're warming up the food, please get it on the tables now. I'm so sorry. But that was it. Also, the guy was like, I'm going to turn the heat on in this bar in fucking August. And I was like, please don't. He's like, just let me know if you want to turn it back on. I was like, we never will. It's 80 degrees out today.
Oh my god, I feel like so many people didn't know that like you just step outside and you can cool down. I was just chilling right in that beautiful breezeway. Like, let's go. Me and Gary were there. We didn't say anything, but we were standing there in the same area.
Yeah, there was a lot of interesting crossovers that happened at this event. So, and like no one other than my mother to Dan does not have a Warcraft name. Other than that interaction, I don't know what anyone said to anyone, so I'm just living in fear.
Just waiting for like, one of the shoes to drop. So one of your friends told me.
But it was a lovely event, and it leads me into this quick time warp. I have already milked my marriage for everything that I can content-wise, so we're just going to do this one last thing, and then I'll just be the other guy again. So I want you, in 40 seconds, to give me all of the canonical married couples. And I don't want bonded forever in the Emerald Dream. You had to sit there in white and pray to God. Their marriage had to be in front of God.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, for clarification, do they have to be alive still or no?
I will accept corpses if you can name a specific corpse.
Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go!
Varian and Tiffin Rin. Karn and Blarn.
Okay, so literally, this is the trope on this podcast where I'm gonna fuck this up because we always fuck up Thrall, his mom, his wife. I will say Thrall and Agra. That's probably his mom, but like...
Durotar and Agra, in case it's not. But it's Durotar and She-Wolf. What's her name? She-Ra? Durotar and... No, Duratan? Is it Duratan? Is it his... I can't even get one half of the names right.
I don't know if they're officially married, but I'll say Illyria and Trellian.
Gul'dan and Cup'dan are definitely betrothed. They're married. Fuck, man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A couple.
Time.
Oh, Moira and...
Time.
Yeah, it got called during
Lost.
that. It was actually 1-1. What the fuck's going on, guys?
Who else is married? I'm
Okay,
really, hang on.
okay,
Wait.
so-
Let me think. What if we can name a couple?
Your
There's a
people.
tiebreaker.
Your people. They had a formal wedding. They were married in front of Tree God.
Well, okay, so then you tricked us then.
Well, but I didn't.
You
I didn't
had a
mean,
preface there
no,
that like
I didn't.
it heavily implied them.
No, I didn't mean, because there's a lot of people who are like, we are bonded for life. Like, fucking, what's her face? Alex Straza has a consort. They didn't get married. They're just having sex every day. I meant people who had like a literal wedding. So.
Gen and Mia Greymane.
Okay. Immune, can you name another one? This will be the tiebreaker here, as we'll just go back and forth.
Okay, let me see here. Oh, well, yeah, the one who I was going to say, Moira and Dark Iron guy. I forget his
What's his name?
What's his name?
Okay, I know. What if I know his name? I'll wait. I'll wait to steal, but I do know his name.
And then there's also like the other Sylvanas.
What was that?
sister
What was
and
that
her
guy's name?
guy. I don't know his name. I lose.
Dagran Tharusian II.
That is very true. The baby is Dagran Thrasian III. Also, fun fact for everyone out there. What's his face? Blood Elf and Nightborn.
Lotharmar?
Lorthamar
yeah.
and first Arknith Thorithra, they count
Wait, has
now.
it happened in the lore yet? Has it happened yet, though?
No,
technically?
but we have data mined them distinctly saying, like, it's such a great thing that I married you in front of our Judeo-Christian God.
Yeah, so I feel like come Dragonflight, it will be official. Like, it was just data mined, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you gotta take a shot.
Also, I appreciate that Immune did, in fact, guess the right woman and slide very, orc woman, and slide very enthusiastically was like, I covered my bases. Durotar, the area, and Agra, Thrall's wife.
She married the land. She's a great farmer. She cultivates.
She's a very enthusiastic shaman. She just kissed the earth. It's like, I love the water, and I love the air.
I'm gonna grow these beans with my will.
Yay, we did it. Okay,
Okay, so
everyone, now I
he's
won't
getting the
be
drink.
obnoxious about the wedding anymore. It's pretty neat.
Okay, I am back.
We got a
with
third of
shot.
the cake, and they were like, freeze it till next year. I was like, bitch, that's big. I was like,
Eat
who
that
knows?
shit.
Who knows
You
if
eat
I'm
that
gonna be
shit.
in here? So yeah, we're going to save like half of a slice, and then everything else I'm going to be eating this weekend.
Yeah, no, I always figured it was just like maybe each of you like freeze a slice. That's like all I've ever heard of. But like I'm back with a shot of lemon Smirnoff. So cheers to Immunization losing yet another game on this podcast.
Yay!
I'm taking a shot for them being married.
Yay! I'm just drinking because that's what I do. Because we got a fuck ton of alcohol. Fucking Kelly lied. She was like, buy more. And then we did. And then we came back the next day and she was like, beans. Cubby Bub's dad was right. And I was like, yeah, Cubby Bub's dad was right.
How is there more? They were out of it. We drank everything. We drank
It was,
all of their out. They kept
so
telling us.
I will say this. We were out of the spiced rum and the Yinglings, which were very popular in the DN army. But like literally everything else. Millions
I smashed
left.
those Yinglings. Dude, you gotta come to Chicago. Come up next week and bring all that booze with you.
No, the thing was they distinctly said they were out of vodka because I asked if I could have another
That is
drink
that
mixed with
is
vodka.
a lie. I have a large amount of Popov. Is it good? No, but it's there.
What's that, vodka?
Popov? Yeah, it's like subterranean. It's so below the shelves vodka. Yabyag and I used to look at it at the quality dairy and be like, ew, not even as us children. We would hate to drink this.
Ass. This is no Crystal Palace, that's for sure.
Shout out to Crystal Palace.
But, while we're doing segments, I say let's just, kick things off here and, have ourselves an early as fuck sexiest NPC of the week, baby.
I've been waiting. I've been holding in my little goo juice since the last one in April.
Yeah, it's been a long time. We've waited. DNR's waited so long for us to name another sexiest NPC. And you know what? I say we name a spicy meatball.
Oh,
My boy.
And by that I mean literally meatball. He has a hot new model. Have you guys seen it?
I've been peeping.
Believe that I have seen it. Although I do believe Sildewhistle put in Hogger's new model in here. So I'm going to have to look it on my little phone.
No, that's Meatball.
That's Meatball?
That's
Okay.
Meatball.
Then I'm lying. Major glow up. Because the old model, as I'm sure was the same with Hogger, was from Wrath, but bad Wrath, early Wrath before they put in the good models. And he's very smooth now. I really appreciate that. Immune just put in old.
Sorry for the jump scare there.
Just put in old meatball. And the worst part is I can tell from the background, that's that motherfucker in Torghast. Oh!
Dude, no, this is Brawler's Guild, I think, which is a crime. Meatball has been in every expansion since Warlords of Draenor. Meatball is basically the sixth host of this podcast at this point. He's been with us just as long as we have.
He's been our audio engineer. If you can picture the episode, we're sitting at a C-shaped table, as all podcasters do. Who's that in the background with a headset on pointing at us? It's Meatball.
Meatball's in the studio doing audio levels.
I always say I edit the show. It's not. I pass it on to my man Meats.
Yeah, so, we've peeled back the curtain. We are finally ready to credit Meatball with his dues.
So, first off and foremost, I will say that we need a Brawlers Guild in Shadowlands. It's not going to happen, obviously. We're out of patches to do stuff in. We were robbed.
So
we were absolutely
would
robbed.
think they've squozed 2 extra ones out here at the end. Just get another one in there.
I mean, yeah, 927 is here. What spec and class do you think Meatball is, by the way? He has one.
He strikes me as a Fury Warrior.
His armor kind of says, leather, though, but that doesn't 100% make sense to me, because I don't really see him being, a rogue. He doesn't seem that stealthy, but, I feel like warrior does make sense, but, my backup would be one of the rogue specs that I can't tell the difference between.
Fury Warrior. Nailed it. That's literally what he is.
Which is wild, because every time I've ever met him, he's like, I'm gonna punch people with my little pawsies. And I'm like, not only do you not have 2 one-hands, or 2 two-hands, you have 2 no-hands right now, sir. What are you doing?
Yeah, he always screams, Meatball hungry, or Meatball eat, and then he instantly, will devour that pussy. I mean, devour that person who you're fighting, and he'll just consume them in one hit. I love that shit.
Listen, Aaron, he is just truly another one of us. He's another Draenor darling that just never got past that hump of not knowing what weapons or armor type to wear for his spec properly.
And speaking of humps, he's got a big one, and I love it. I love running my hands across his huge back as he, I guess, motorboats me, because that's where his head is compared to the standard person's height.
And, he has, what looks like chains across himself, and he's always been a part of, the Brawlers Guild, which is kind of like an underground sex dungeon. That could be hot, right?
Gross. Meatball and underground sex. Oh my god, the Brawlers Guild is literally an underground sex dungeon.
Yeah, does that make him a
That's what I
hired
just said.
gentleman of the night? Because you have to pay untold riches just for a chance to watch Meatball work?
I mean, you don't have to pay. I guess you pay with blood a little bit, I guess, right?
Well, I mean, how do you get a Brawler's pass to begin with? I just got it because you had one and you said, here, little boy, go on in. But I assume you had to buy it, question mark?
You can buy it, but I think I just punched some dudes in Stormheim, and they were like, "Oh, you punched me so good. Here's a Brawler's Pass.
You should do this professionally."
That's basically what happened. Except, like, there wasn't any text. I think you just found it on them, and then it was like, bam, Brawler's Pass.
But I think most people got it from, like, their friends, because, like, there was that one pass that was, like, passed around through our entire group.
I don't think, like, because we, like, I think we traded it, but then once you use it, it consumes it. But I think once everyone had it, they were like, oh, I already have one of these, and kept passing it on. Much like Meatball passes on his genes by fucking.
Something you'd never guess. Incredibly virile, that man. Has sired so many children throughout the world.
Meat balls. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Please, everyone, stop. Everyone, the whole world, all of Belgium is laughing right now.
I saw a thing the other day that they don't even sell those in IKEA anymore, so I'm like, what's the point?
The meatballs?
Yeah. I knew people who were like, I like IKEA because it's got the meatballs. Like, they bought the furniture, but they really appreciated that you could get a little snack in there.
Literally growing up, like, there was a whole sect of people that I knew that would literally just go to IKEA to walk around and then have the meatballs. They, like, I was like, do you guys have any furniture from IKEA? They're like, no, we just go for the meatballs.
That's really weird.
And this is my final IKEA thought. The meatballs, I was like, okay, I get it. Then I watched a video of someone like getting lunch at IKEA, and they had like potato salad. I was like, potato salad from the IKEA? That's a step too far.
They got sand in the potato salad. That's gross. I hate potato salad. That's an after dark thought, though. I could rant about it for a while. Meatball, congratulations, you sexy beast. You are the sexiest NPC of the week, and I can't wait to jerk you off in Dragonflight. Amu's making a face. What?
I mean,
actually,
that is what
I
we
was
do.
planning on jerking him off in Dragonflight, so back off.
Okay.
I was just going to rub his shoulders and just whisper in his ear after he assumedly came and just be like, you deserve it, bud. And when I say whisper in his ear, I can't touch his shoulders and whisper in his ear at the same time because there's like a 2.5 foot differential, but I'll find a way to make it work.
You know, looking at him too, he's kind of a trendsetter because he's always had the, like, one shoulder mog going on.
He's like, Sarfang who, bitch? Shoulders off for Meatball.
Said 2 warriors with one shoulder come in the room. One of us made it past BFA.
I wonder if they ever planned on having Brawlers Guild in Shadowlands, or if they were like, oh, Torghast replaces it, basically. It's the same thing. Like, because Meatball was in it, they're like, well, Meatball's already in the game. We don't have to do Brawlers Guild to put him in. It's fine.
Yeah, Super Jailer Racing kind of was just Brawlers Guild. It was just, you didn't get any fun bosses. You just fought the same losers that you had already known for 2 years.
You know what's funny, though? We are kind of getting Super Jailer Racing in Dragonflight, because I'm pretty sure that there are, like, literally Dragonflight races with the dragon riding. That's not a joke. That's real.
Listen, Sildewhistle, I'm not falling for this again, okay? None of us are. DNR, back me up. We're not falling for Sildewhistle's dirty tricks here.
I don't think it's a trick. I'm pretty sure it's real.
I don't know about Super Jailer Racing, but I did see that there's an entire dungeon where you go boss to boss, you dragonfly. That's weird. That gives me the same strange feeling in my tummy as the underwater boss from BFA did.
Oh no, I was gonna say it reminds me of that one boss, that one place that we always hated, where you have to ride the dragons up and, like, use their special abilities.
I watched a video and it kind of just looked like you were just going there. Like maybe they were just like, Dragonflight's neat, do that. Like, you didn't appear you had to fight anyone, but the night is still young. Ian could slap a few enemies in there and be like, it's just like my favorite dungeon, the Eye. And then I will instantly go motherload mode and be like, sorry, not doing that one ever.
Motherload mode. Man, I like to forget that Motherload even existed, and I'm going to be pissed when that comes back into the Mythic Plus rotation. That's going to be the one that people fucking vote for, isn't it?
You know, exactly. It's going to, like, make it into, like, Season 2 of Dragonflight or something crazy like that.
And for people who weren't there, I could see it, because it's funny. Like, ha 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 ha, that's so silly. That's so wild. A goblin dungeon? And then, like, I'm officially old enough to have PTSD where it's like, please, no.
kicking that dumb football around, all the packs you could pull. There's just so much that can go wrong.
All the outdated Moira references. She doesn't even have that move anymore.
Get that out of here. So 927 is officially here. Have you guys delved much into the patch?
Oh boy, have I.
mean, it's chock full with content. You know, I've just been spending all my time using it into so much content in this 927 patch. And by that, I mean, like, I guess I re-downloaded the WoW app because I can use the auction house on it.
I had a Final Fantasy person holding me hostage all week. I just logged into WoW for the first time like 2 days ago, and I can assure you I've already done everything that patch 9.2.7 has to offer.
I've been using the app just to see what's new. I mean, it feels fresh. I feel like there's new animations on it. How long could you do your cipher table on the phone app? I don't think any of us were on the phone app before this.
The cipher table?
So, you know, in Zereth Mortis, how you have, like, the console upgrades?
I never knew that. And by the time I found out today, it's been done for months.
Well, I'm looking at it, and I just realized my console isn't fully upgraded. I'm missing... I was missing 3 upgrades, and I just upgraded 2 of them while sitting here and recording this podcast. So hey, it's good for something, right?
I guess. I mean, like, as Aaron said, I've had that fully kitted out on at least my priest for, like, months. So I didn't realize that was a thing. Have you done anything on the auction house yet?
Well, as you can see, welcome to my new segment called Medallion of the Legion Watch. Currently on Proudmoore, Medallion of the Legions are 1,500 gold. Now, back in the day, it used to be, I believe, 3,000 gold was the point I would buy them and resell them.
Oh, trust me, all of us were very, very savvy about one thing on the auction house, and that is the Medallions of the Legion that you would crush to give yourself a rep in Tanan, I think.
I think now it actually gives you rep with all Legion reps. All of them. Every single one of them.
Not Legion, it would be Draenor.
Draenor reps, that's right. It's the name Legion is very confusing on the item.
But yes, I would always remember that, like, okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but like back in the day we could buy and sell on the app, right?
I think so.
Yes.
Now you can only buy. You can only buy now.
So I distinctly remember, like, all of us, like, being drunk at trivia at Crunchies, and I would be like, y'all, Legions of the Medallion are, like, 2,400. I'm buying, like, 10 of them, and then I'm going to post them later in the week. Because, like, they would sell for, like, 4,000 or 5,000 sometimes.
So I'm actually really curious. I'm going to legitimately watch this market. Because it seems like it may actually crash and then go back up. There's only 600 at 1,500. The rest are like at 1,700, 1,800. And I'm like, hey, people still want Legion reps for a lot of things. I bought some of these on my Paladin like last year because I was too lazy to do the rep grind to finish off like one of my reps to get like a cool mount. So who knows? Maybe this is back on the market. With the app, anything can be.
Has anything ever shown up that is Medallion of the Legion adjacent? Like, was there, like, Medallion of the Broken Isles, Magic Mirror of the Shadowlands?
I don't think so, actually, which is kind of interesting. But I think that has more so to do with how grindy the Draenor reps were. Because I was in the trenches doing the fucking Saberon Blacktooth collection. That was a nightmare. So I could see why these things were so expensive.
I honestly have not cleaned out my Hunter's bank since Draenor, mainly because when I peek in there, I see all of the items that are like from grinding the rep with, like, you know, all the tooths and claws and things you needed to like summon certain rares in Tanan Jungle and all of that. Yeah, it's rough during those times.
I remember looking over at Cubby Bub trying to grind those out, and I was just eating cereal like, oh my god, that looks awful. And then they gave me Flying and Draenor like the next week. I was like, you really didn't have to do that, huh?
Yeah, but now it's a feat of strength, right? Like, because she has the
It
mount.
is, and she has the 2-headed mount, which I have nothing that's like that. Actually, just kidding. Shadowlands gave me one, but she has that specific one, so.
But I guess while we're talking about the auction house, like, I guess one of the big things in 927 is, like, the thing that we misspoke about before. Well, I misspoke about before, but, like, the auction house, like, combined regionally, right? So, like, there was a lot of talk about whether or not that would crash the market, make things more expensive on our server. And I feel like overall it hasn't changed that much. I feel like potions right now are a little cheaper, and flasks are about the same. Everything seems and feels about the same on Proudmoore to me right now. Except, like, I know that, like, the day of, somebody glitched out the auction house and, like, duplicated flasks and put, like, 5 million of them on there for, like, 50 gold and, like, crashed the auction house and broke it. They got banned, and then they had to, like, shut down the auction house for a few hours to fix it.
I'm using the app currently to read guild chat. But also, wait, no. Let's talk about that first, because that was ridiculous. 5 million pots were posted for 50 gold. But they were duplicated, right? Isn't that what the whole thing was? But they got banned. They banned that person's account. So we tried to buy it, so I couldn't get anything.
Yeah. So, like, all of us were like, whoa, flasks are only, like, 45 gold. So we tried to buy as many as we could, but it's like, that item's not available. And it wasn't available because the seller was banned.
I was just so... Like, I wanted to post that everywhere. Everybody, 50 gold, get them while they're hot. And I'm glad I didn't, because I would have like a real boo-boo the fool telling everybody to go buy an item they can't get. Okay, wait, so I was reading...
What else did 9.2.7 even do? Have we really
it.
touched upon the... Oh, that's it?
Yeah, no, literally it's just, like, the auction house change, and I think that's it. That's the only thing of note.
Yeah, it's the auction house changing, and then it's like, that's... I think there was... there's a new social contract you have to sign again. Can you believe that?
I couldn't even tell you what was any different, because much like the previous social contract, I rolled to the bottom of it, hit accept, and said, I probably won't get in trouble.
So I was reading guild chat from today, and Saracen Hawk, listener of the pod, listen, you don't have to apologize to Persephone for destroying her streets key. That was a long time ago. She's killed many of our own keys just by disconnecting and never re-showing. You are 100% fine. Don't feel bad about it.
I also personally tanked her, like, 20 sanguine depths that was supposed to be her last one that she needed so that she could have all of her 20s timed last season. So definitely don't feel bad.
You are good. One of our many sleeper agents in the guild is actively working. Should we roly into a growly?
I'm gonna roly to a growly. I'm just thinking of my man Vegeta fucking flexing his ankles in Fortnite. I want to think about that some more. Growlina, cover for a second. Growl here, sitting atop my friend Jigglesworth Sr., along with my new friend Drex and her own slime kittens. Drex, we have Jiggles, and now his father. Are you holding out hope to meet additional members of the Jigglesworth family? Well, I'll be honest and say I was really content with just having the two. But you've opened up my mind to the possibilities. What are said possibilities? The audience is clamoring for more goopy content. Well, if there's a senior, then surely there's a mom out there. Mrs. Jigglesworth. Just the same model but pink, LMAO. That sounds like a pretty lazy model swap, which means it's right up Blizzard's alley. I, for one, am hoping for a Kathy Jigglesworth, the precocious little sister of the bunch. Oh my, a nuclear family. How standard of you. It's like they say, if it ain't broke, you don't need to fix it. And Blizzard's always in the not fixing things game. That said, I'm gonna fix me up a plate of leftover wedding food and sit my butt down to listen to part 2 of episode 192. Thanks, Growlina. Now, I only want to talk about established facts. If we do any speculation, I will scream.
Well, you better get ready to scream, baby, because
ready.
we are going to talk about how there has been a leak recently, well, supposed leak, where somebody has information about when upcoming patches and games are going to be released.
Yeah, it seems to be a quote-unquote internal document that would show pre-patch and global release dates for a bunch of actually Activision games, including Call of Duty, Diablo, Overwatch 2, which we already knew that, didn't we? Isn't that already known?
Yeah, they set the release date of that up in the last big Blizzard thing for it.
So as this thing went up, it said August 30th was WoW Classic, Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch and pre-sale, which was then announced like 2 days later, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and then it says Overwatch 2, yeah, October 4th, we knew that. But then for us, WoW Yum subscribers, the first date of notice here is October 25th is what they're saying is when we're going to get 10.0 like pre-patch.
October 25th. Okay. Does that seem like a long...
I feel like that makes sense for Season 4 to be, what, like 3.5 months?
Yeah, I feel like that lines up. And then they have the actual expansion release on November 28th. And if you guys remember, when you and Cubby Bub were here and we recorded an episode in our living room, and we were talking about like that original like leaker soothsayer that had like all of their predictions correct, one thing that they had on there was that we were going to get a November release for Dragonflight. So like this kind of lines up with that as well.
So are you saying I probably am going to put in a time request for the 28th through the 2nd and say I'm not here so I could, because if not, I can always change it later. Why the hell not, right?
Yeah, so this is like the week after Thanksgiving, right?
It should be, right? Thanksgiving should be like the 24th. Is it the last Thursday in November? Is that
Yeah,
what
it's usually the fourth Thursday, I want to say.
Yeah.
I'm not a distinct Thanksgiving head, but that sounds true to me.
Which is such a stupid, what a dumb way to decide a date for something. The fourth Thursday in the month.
Excuse me, the Catholic Church does it for the return of Jeebus. Everyone remembers that he came back on a sliding scale.
Came stuffed in a little turkey with cranberry sauce.
That's him.
Hey guys, who's hungry?
Now, I'm a little worried because that only gives me 2 days to play pre-patch until Call of Duty Cortez's global launch at 9 p.m. on the 27th. I just feel like that's not enough time spaced out. Because, I mean, the Call of Duty Cortez audience and the Warcraft, or the WoW Yum audience, is like one circle.
We're all the same people. It's just Aaron and his family
Just
playing
me
Call of
and
Duty
my
Cortez.
family, I guess. Gary, last name, does love him some Call of Duty Cortez.
I'm sorry, but like my Call of Duty ignorance is showing. Is Call of Duty Cortez like one of their franchises like COD Blocks
I
is?
know nothing about it. I'm very interested to see what the fuck it even is, if that's real.
Yeah, I have no clue what that is.
Is it just a guy? Is Cortez supposed to be someone I remember?
Oh, I think when I hear Cortez is Spy Kids. That's all I think about, because it wasn't their last name.
Yeah, I think so.
You cracked the code. That's what it is. Call of Duty. You play as Junie.
Dude, if they put Junie in Call of Duty, that's a day one purchase. I will pre-order that $100 Epic Edition.
I am going to mow people down with my 2 pigtails helicopter gadget.
You want to be Gertie Giggles? Was her name Gertie? Gergie Giggles?
Gertie
The dad was
sounds
Gary Giggles.
correct. I don't know if Giggles was their last name.
It 100% was, because they went,
And now all I'm thinking of, in Call of Duty when you die and you get like those anti-war quotes,
Yeah.
it's just the Steve Buscemi speech where it's like, do you think God stays up there because he too is afraid of what he's created?
Okay,
They could easily slot that in.
do you guys think that like there's zombies mode, instead of zombies, it'll just be the thumb dudes?
That would be
Yes.
cool. I would love that, especially if I can play as the grandfather who got his legs back, and I'm gonna be a bad guy now and kick your
Call
ass.
of Duty Fooglies. Dun, dun, dun. The Fooglies have escaped.
Flip is a bad man. Help us, save us. Oh, you Spy Kid heads out there love that bit. That was a good one.
But have you guys seen how people are mad about these like supposed dates because with the
What's there to be angry
because
about?
like with the supposed like global launch of like Dragonflight being at late November, it normally lines up with then that would mean that the race to world first, like the opening of the raid at a certain level will be like over Christmas, I think.
Who cares? Who cares?
So I guess for Shadowlands, what was it? Because it sounds very much like they're using a similar time frame. Did people get mad at Nathria?
Was Shadowlands released November 23rd, 2020. So literally the same timeline. In fact, this happened during Thanksgiving. It was
Yes,
so, like,
I was at my now in-laws' home being like, "Oh, stuffing was great, Dad," and then ran downstairs to play. I appreciate it being after Thanksgiving this time.
Yeah, I mean, like, whatever. Like, I am cool with it. I'm just glad that we have a supposed date. They had a blue post, like, I believe today, addressing the fact that people are reacting to these supposed dates. So I don't know if the fact that they're addressing people reacting to them confirms it, but they're basically just saying, thanks for all your feedback on the dates that were thrown around.
Oh yeah, they did kind of respond. So like that kind of confirms it, I feel like. But again, like, who cares? Like, they'll figure something out. If they can't raid, you can't raid. What's the difference between having off Christmas and calling off work? I mean, I guess having family time, obviously. But maybe you should spend time with your family if you don't want to be a world first raider. Then do that, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of funny, honestly.
All I know is they're very brave to potentially have a set date, because everyone knows that they just copied Final Fantasy XIV's release date, and I looked here and it said that their 7th expansion was, quote, underway. Do you think they're just going to move it back to claim fealty to Yoshi P?
They're waiting, dude. They're waiting for him to announce it, and then like, let's switch the date quickly. Move it a week forward.
You know, them saying thanks for your feedback is actually just them trying to get more information about when Final Fantasy's expansion is going to be released so they can just line it up perfectly.
Do you think Steve Denuser ever dresses up as Birdo and stands outside Yoshi P's office trying to seduce him?
I feel like he would have to.
You know, I'm pretty confident in saying that he probably has a 2-hour block on his like Google calendars that just says busy in the middle of the day, and that is what what he's doing during that time.
He's just shooting eggs out of his nostrils. Hey, look at me.
Do you think he ever dresses up as an Elder Scrolls character and goes to ZeniMax, and then they go, "We don't know who that is," and he goes, "That is very true. There's a distinct lack of iconography in this series. Anyways, have fun," and then he goes home, but he does it every week. That's gotta really feel bad.
I just love the idea of him dressing up as like every MMO character. He's like a Jedi one week. He's
he goes back and dresses up as an EverQuest guy. The EverQuest people are like, "We stopped making this game in 2008," and he goes, just trying to fish for any extra details. Don't want to be surprised if EverQuest 3 shows up.
He dresses up as his like OC from Toontown with like 2 pies in each of his hands, just because he wants to stream that, just to try to get it going again, because he just wants Toontown to be back, you know?
He's like, he comes as Kylo Ren, the Star Wars people, and they're like, he's not even in this game. Is he?
He like stands on the edge of a forest with a bunch of freshly baked bread saying, "Anyone want to 1v1 me in the wildy?"
I would not
You've
trust
gone too
Steve
far.
in the wildy. That's a man who's gonna steal my rune skimmy and never look back.
Okay, wait. Let's pivot back to WoW. I just now realized how far into the episode we are. We realized that we were recording an After Dark episode after this, and I think we went into just like After Dark mode. It feels like.
I was just going down the list of MMOs I remember. You're glad I didn't go into any of those browser ones that all look the same.
Oh, dude,
I had a million MapleStory jokes, but continuing.
Okay, so the last Fated raid has dropped until the cycle continues once again next week. Sepulcher of the first one.
The Seppi, we are back, and yes, we're finishing our first rotation, so then we're gonna have to go back to Nathria next week and just do it again. But it's kind of cool because our first way all the way through the sets, we cleared normal all the way on each of them, so we have our slime cats. Did you end up getting your slide or no?
I did get my slime cat after we spent an hour and a half trying to kill Halandris, which took way longer than it should have taken, but we did it. And I was like, because I switched characters halfway through normal, and I was like, fuck, why did I do that?
Yeah, so for clarification, the hour and a half of wiping on Halandris was on heroic. So, yeah.
I swapped because I was like, I should be doing this on my druid, not my warlock, because I need the boss kills. I realized I needed the boss kills to get the heroic upgrade item. But then I was like, wait, it's normal. Normal doesn't drop the heroic upgrade item. So A, I swapped for nothing, but B, the damage increases that just kills things faster, so we can get it in one night was my ultimate goal, basically.
There were like 3 or 4 goofballs who came in on like Zrarno, and I'm like, okay. And then they played someone else. And then when we all got the cats, it's like, where's my cat? It's like, well, you knew 2 weeks ago you have to do this all on one guy.
It's like literally
Sorry,
for the
Zrarno.
last 2 weeks, we were like, you know that you need to be on the same character every week to get the slime cat. And then the first week, he was like, yeah. Second week, yeah. Third week, where's my slime cat?
You just forgot. I mean, the slime cat it's fine.
I used it the moment we all allegedly lined up, not even to take a picture, just to be like, cats. And I literally will not see him until Dragonflight. And then who knows then?
For the record, I really do like the mount. I think it's cool. I think it's well done.
It makes your legs too wide. Worgans get destroyed by this thing.
The thing is, like, I was on it on my panda. I'm like, every mount does that.
The panda's got them wide burthen hips, you know? I mean, once again, Faded is nothing to write home about. It just is annoying for me because it's AoE. I've said it once, I'll say it again. They did nerf Faded bosses. On August 15th, we had a blue post. With realm restarts, enemy health reduced by 5% in Faded Heroic and Faded Mythic difficulties.
Just every single boss, all 30 of them?
Developers notes, we feel this health reduction will smooth over some of the roughest edges in the raid without devaluing the experience. Can you fucking imagine if Halandris did not have this 5% health reduction? We would have, like, just barely not killed him on our last pull, I feel like.
You know what's funny? Because, like, before this went into reality, like, last week when we were doing Heroic Sylvanas with Dogs with Jobs, we had, like, 10 wipes where we had her in Phase 3 down to, and we were down to, like, 50. Wait, does she finish at 55? Is that what it's at?
She finishes at 50%.
Okay, so then we had her down to like 50.5%, like on 10 pulls. So like those would have been kills.
They had to keep sitting people because the damage wasn't there. And I was like, oh no, people are getting sat. And then the next week, if this was in the first week, everybody would have been fine. Like 6 or 7 people had to go. And I was like, oh.
They also were doing like 30-man raids, and it was so bad that like my computer like was freezing, like no FPS because like all of these ground effects. I'm like, I had to put everything on like boo 0 -20% graphics.
Yeah, that was and playing like that is actually really jarring because I'm convoking or I'm in Moonkin form and I'm star surging and sunfiring and I'm not seeing any animations come out of me and I'm like, did it fucking work? Okay, it worked. Something about like the more players and the Faded Apex just absolutely destroys GPUs and I don't know what's going on with it.
But I guess while we're talking about Faded raids for a little bit, this is the first time now where, in addition to getting the slime cat, you can also potentially have your first dinar token thingy. Have you guys gotten that yet? Have you guys used it? What have you guys spent yours on? Or what are your thoughts about this?
I did spend mine. I spent it on a cool... Sigil of the First Ones. That's what it's called. because that's what Preheat, our fair weather fire mage friend, said that it should be. He actually said the number one thing was the knife from Rygalon, but my knife is $291, and they gave it to you at $278. So I said, let me use my second dinar on that one when I have more upgrade points, because I don't have as many as you guys do.
You know what's funny? The Beastmaster one was kind of similar, where it told me to like take a gun from Seppi, and I'm like, the gun I have from Mythic Plus is already a lot better than that, so I'm not going to do that. And Mitch and Raid, listener of the pod and patron, hey Mitch, made a good point that they write these guides like for the dinars, for like with people in mind who like only get their gear from Raid. So I think you have to like kind of like cipher through that a little bit. So I also took my second best on my dinar. I got the Sylvanas like back piece.
If you out there are confused on what to do and you can't find any good sources, highly recommend going to raidbots.com, going to Droptimizer, and you can specifically check off like the dinar vendors, and it will sort through all of the items that are on the vendors, and it will tell you percentage-wise what the best DPS increase will be for you. So all the ferals said to get Zolvastrum, the Unmaker, which is the jailer weapon. But for me, Zolvastrum, the Unmaker, was less of an upgrade than Sigils of the First Scar, Strife, whatever the jailer Scars trinket is. So I got the Scars trinket, and I upgraded it, which I kind of don't like, because now this trinket is gonna be fucking stuck with me for the remainder of this 3 months.
And it's weird. Like, I have the normal version on Booty ATW. It's funny to like manage this thing.
You basically like, you always want to be at 4 scars, and you only go to the 5th one when you use a big coolie. So like if I Berserk Convoke, I will check. I'm like, do I have 4 scars? Yes, I do. Let's add that 5th scar. But sometimes I forget, and I press it. It's a trinket. And sometimes you just press trinkets when they're up. And I'm like, fuck. I wasted.
It can also be scary because you die. You just start dying the more scars you get. And the 5th way is the only way to decurse yourself. So sometimes it's like, I'm just getting my ass kicked. I gotta do the explosion right now.
Yeah, dude, that's just gotta be so scary on most classes. I actually think that Feral is the best scars holder. None of the affixes really negatively affect me. It's like,
well, the taking damage.
Okay, well, the take more damage, that's the one that affects me the most.
And when you take damage, it like repeats over and over and over.
Yeah, it echoes it. But like that one's whatever. Immune's healing me, and I'll go bear tank, or I'll go bear form. But the other affixes, like, you're slowed by 20%. I'm like, bitch, my speed's 25%. I'm net 5 still. Or like the damage thing, I have instant regrowths when I'm fighting. So I'll just press instant regrowth, and then it'll heal the damage that the bleed's doing to me. It's actually pretty cool. And I think when I get the slow on me, I'm pretty sure I could shapeshift and break it. Maybe not, though. I haven't actually tried it. I just kind of deal with it, so I'm not that slow.
I know that supposedly this is also good for BM Hunter, so like I rolled for it when somebody put one up for a roll when we killed it on normal, because I have shit trinkets still. I have like 278, like the ooze and the one totem from the other side, which were like those are good trinkets for BM like last season, but like I need new ones now. It's like my last holdup. I'm like I need new trinkets, but like I don't really want scars, honestly. Like, it feels like too much of a burden.
It really is, honestly. And like, okay, so the heroic version, because I have enough heroic dust that I was able to upgrade it during raid, I get 120 stat from them. So at 4 scars, I have an additional 120 mastery, haste, verse, and crit. That's a lot of stat.
So that's just permanent as long as you're at the 4 scars?
Yes. And then when I press the 5th scar, bitch, I'm at like, it gives you like 244 mastery, crit, haste, and verse for 30 seconds, and then you explode. So
But you
It's
don't
a
you don't
lot of
die.
Stat. Yeah,
You don't die. I remember when I got it. It was like you get super damage and then you explode. I thought it was the Shadow Priest thing where it's like, and then I die.
Yeah, your scars burst forward onto your enemies, and you burst them somehow for hella damage.
Oh, so if I had it on my BM Hunter, it'd be like try to time that up with my Wild Spirits window, probably.
And then you have to run up there. You have to run up there, I think, because
It's
you
an
explode.
AOE explosion.
Yeah. And I don't know the range of it. I don't know how close you have to be. I guess I've never thought about that before. If it's good for BM Hunter, maybe you don't have to be that close. I guess I don't know. Maybe you do.
Maybe I'm just bullshitting everyone. I don't know. I'll have to look into it again.
I'm mostly just mad that like one of my trinkets is the first sigil. That's 265, and that's still my best trinket for raid. Like that feels so lame to be like, yeah, 294, 298, everything except for a 265 trinket. Like fuck that. At least the dinars cut down. So the first level is 30 to get 1 dinar, and then the second one is 15, and the third one is 5. Or is it 20, 15, 5?
I think it's 15 and 5. So like I don't think we'll get one next week, but then I think we'll get 2 the following week.
That's nice. So they can spin it on whatever you didn't get.
And then that's it. You get 3, period, the whole time.
I think people are going to hate that. I think people are going to misunderstand what dinars do and be like, what happened? Where'd the vendors go? I didn't know it was only 3.
because I don't think you can refund them. So it's like you'll blow too because you're just like, I want cool T-Mog. And then you'll not understand that you have 1 wish remaining.
When you buy your item with the dinar, though, they give you like a very serious, are you sure? This will spend 1 of your dinars and you will not get it back, and you only have a limited amount. So press yes if you're sure. And I know the amount of jabronis that just really like clicked, yes, come on, give me my item, and didn't read it is significantly high. Oh, I just remembered something else 927 brought. It's trade services chat. We have a new chat, everybody. New chat is open.
Trade services chat. I haven't seen it, so it must be linked to the standard trade chat, which I turned off. But how's that?
No, it's not though, Aaron. So like you probably just haven't noticed it.
Oh.
Like it's its own thing. So like I believe on mine it's like 6.
Yeah, I think it's /6. I saw some people in there being like, hey, if you guys want to buy a carry, we can sell it to you. And I was like, whoa, this is a thing? And then I did not see a post for the remainder of the day because everyone was posting it in trade chat still. And now it's time for our top toot, bottom boot, medium moot. I'm going to kick us off with a fat top toot.
Toot.
Fat.
My top toot is, despite Aaron trying to ruin my key experience by getting married on a weekend. Who gets married on a weekend?
Probably most people.
Yeah, I think
Everyone told us we should have gotten married on that Friday. They're like, God, weather's so great. Wish you could have gotten married today. This is like the event people. I was like, well, Kelly, we're not. So you better bring this chipperness tomorrow.
Man, I sure wish you had a time machine to know when the weather was going to be bad. Like, fuck off, Kelly. My top two is that despite Aaron trying to slow me down, I was still able to slam out some keys in the hotel from like, I think it was like midnight to 4 in the morning.
That is very true. Immune sent a picture of you laptop gaming, and I said, oh, Slide on a laptop? I haven't seen this in years.
And you know what's funny? Like, Slide doesn't really stream, but he did connect it to the TV in the hotel room with an HDMI cable. So, like, Logan, a.k.a. Ugh? Although, I will say, Logan is back now. He resubbed.
Yes.
And so we'll call him Arboleda, because, like, that is his main.
Arboleda.
Yes, side. He did address our letter to his card to us as Growlina and Cubby and signed it Arboleda.
That's beautiful. I love that. I was going to secret stream. I'd be like, Aaron's wedding. I'm playing WoW. But I didn't. Also, I bought a VPN just to play WoW because the hotel blocked it. So I was like, fuck you, hotel. I'm going to get around this and do keys.
It didn't even, like, just block all gaming. It specifically blocked WoW. Like, we could play Hearthstone, Fortnite. Like, it just blocked WoW.
Clearly, all of Ann Arbor's hotels are run by insane ESO heads.
They were against us. It was probably the nicest hotel I've stayed in that wasn't a Hyatt. I feel like Hyatts are automatically like...
Ours wasn't.
Oh, no, what happened to your hotel?
Ours was boo-boo doo-doo. They tried to give us a room that was occupied.
Oh, yeah,
we opened the door and it had a lock, and then we tried to open again and someone slammed the door on us, and we were like, this is bad.
Ours had bacon for breakfast. I didn't get it, but it was there.
Ours had a breakfast, but when I walked outside, I realized it was just in the sketch part of Ipsy. So I canceled my Uber and called my grandma, like, Grandma, our white asses are just in Ipsy. Come pick me up.
What about you, Mean? What's your top toot and bottom boot and medium boot?
Well, I'm also going to have a top toot this week, and it is also, like, Keystone running related. Team Mango Sour, in our second week, we all have Keystone Master already. I feel like this is by far the fastest that we've all done this. Despite everything, despite, like, the Karazhans being hard as fuck, like, we've been able to, we timed, like, some 19s of, like, the Tazavesh ones, because they still feel good. And we timed, like, some high, Junkyard ones to make up for the fact that, like, I think all of us still only have, like, timed 11 Karazhans.
I was going to say, let it be known, I still have, like, 3 11s and a 10. So, because that's how different the keys feel.
Yeah, but overall, it's just a top toot because I am proud of Team Mango Sour. I'm always proud of us, like, our distinctly not meta comp. I'm the most meta at this point, but that'll change soon, I'm sure.
Just you wait until I'm running an Evoker. Newbie Team Mint Julep Mango Sour.
Ooh, Team Mint Julep. I'm down with that. Although, there's no tank, so there's going to have to be some yucky other color there.
Yeah, someone's got to be gross.
I mean, I feel like a monk tank would work because it's also green, right?
True.
Yeah, it's Team Mint Lime Julep.
But yeah, Aaron, what do you got?
Oh, I got a bottom boot.
Oh,
I can't be a cool bachelor anymore. Just kidding. I got a top toot because I got freaking married. And
what?
Yeah, there were plenty of friends and family and faith to the Lord.
I smoked weed where you took pictures at.
Did you? You know, the whole thing, I was going around the whole time and I said, you know what, that little rapscallion, I bet you that Sildewhistle and Sweaty Gumbo smoked weed somewhere around here.
You know what's funny, Aaron? The two of them and Sweaty Gumbet, as I think Slide called him.
Yes.
They all went out to go smoke. And they came back with you. And I was like, what? I'm like, did Aaron smoke with them? Or does he just not know that they literally just smoked seconds before they ran into him?
I can say you did not smell like the Chronic, but it was one of those things where I was like, I'm either going to see them consume the devil's lettuce or just know that they did. And it warms the cockles of my heart to know you did sneak off somewhere and do that.
We were smart about it. I was like, I said, if Gary sees this, I'm done. My rep is in the fucking toilet. Let's do this smart. Let's be smart about it. And but we ended up in the same spot where you took your pictures with like Caitlin and your siblings, because I was peeing in that bathroom right when you guys got out of the wedding, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go say hi to Aaron. And I'm like, wait, well, those are wedding pictures. I should probably not be in the background of these pictures. and then I scurried away to be like, guys, I found a smoke spot for later.
But yes, it was great. It had plenty of Warcraft references, although Caitlin did shoot down my idea of going out there in full Varian armor. She said that she's been working out, but she can't take a rock to the face.
I was going to say.
Okay.
Can't blame her.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to be bricked either.
The minute, if I even caught a whiff of someone dressed as Tiffin, I'm hurling a rock. I can't control myself. I'm throwing it.
I wouldn't have blamed you if she showed up with a pale blue dress and a blonde wig and said, ha 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 ha, shouldn't we pay the stonemasons? I too would throw a brick.
Not even gonna lie, if somebody supposedly was cosplaying as Tiffin, I wouldn't even know that they were supposed to be Tiffin because I don't know what Tiffin supposedly looked like.
You would know. They would have a big brick in their head and like fake blood coming down it.
Exactly. The brick is tantamount to the understanding of the costume.
Yo, that's a really... Okay, if BlizzCon is physical next year, that would be a really good cosplay. Just like a white dress or blue dress and just like a rock glued to your head with blood coming out of it.
I mean, it is coming back. They confirmed
You
that.
could be Tiffin. Immune can be Varian, and I'll be the Defias Brotherhood guy. I'll just have a big burlap sack that says throwing bricks. I'd be like, oh, I think I'll hit one.
Dude, we would win like some kind of contest.
You know, like you distinctly have your building bricks and then you're throwing bricks.
Got to make sure they're aerodynamic. But yes, that was a great time. Thanks for everyone who came and made it special.
I just want to double back for a second and say that you have one for building, one for throwing.
Well, there's one for showing on the walls, and there's one for blowing out Tiffin Rin's brains by throwing it at her.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
But do you know who blows my mind, but not as a piece of masonry, just with their generousness? We're talking about our $5 a month patrons. That includes Command Sergeant Major Tijurla, fourth host of the podcast Your Monkey. Ahoy Vince, a.k.a. Nathaniel's killed himself to see Sylvanas, and she won't even pick up the phone. Instinct/Drag Race. Azarin. Mitch, who wants to know that the hunters of Uno Mas are burly boys. Though, Mitch, I must say I do appreciate that Wargan warrior you brought. Crucifix. Cardacay. Saracen Hawk. Joe DiGiorno Dorno. Gershom the Grill Master. Tss. Hoax, asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Vanderlyle, and Will, a.k.a. Tyre, Trade Chat's fallen father.
And with that, no, wait, not yet. We're not out of here yet. Isn't that later? When do okay, you know, I've noticed, I've been saying that whenever I feel like it. With that, we're out of here. I feel like I've said it in 5 different places. Have I not?
Usually this is about the time. This is usually the send-off.
And with that, we're out of here. Like that? If you have any comments, questions, complaints, send us an email at donotrelentlpod@gmail.com. After this episode, we're going to be recording an After Dark episode where we're drunker and sloppier and tell stories that you guys submit to us that we spin with the wheel. You can check that out at our Patreon at donotRelent.com. No, Patreon/DoNotRelent. Right? Is that what it is?
Yes.
What about you guys? Where are you guys at on the internet?
You can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at NewEraAlex, or you could follow our podcast Instagram account on the gram at Do Not Relent.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at TheBigAcheesy on Twitter.com. Read the show's literary musings at DoNotRelent.LiveJournal.com. Watch my soon-to-be-returning Twitch streams at twitch.tv/AaronDNR. And if you need to find me, I'll be in Bikini Bottom. I'm jumping around my house collecting golden spatulas.
Get those bubbles, bubble buddy.
Whoa there.
All right, see you guys next week. Unless you're a patron, then we'll see you this weekend. And remember,
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.